Yes, people, how are we all? Hope you're all good. Hope you enjoyed the intro. Let me know what you think. I'm trying to just do a bit more, you know, do some stuff. But yeah, Illan Meslier, Leeds United #1, Leeds United goalkeeper. The young man who has been Leeds United goalkeeper for 3 or 4 years now, under a lot of stress, a lot of pressure in the Premier League, being battered every week by shots. Promotion with Leeds, remember, came in at the end of that season. In this video, I'm going to give my general overall view on Illan Meslier, what I think about him. I'm also going to use statistical data and my eye to define the questions that have been asked about Illan. Is he good enough for Leeds United? Should he be Leeds United's #1? Is he the long-term future goalkeeper for Leeds United? And I'm going to try to put myself in my scouting role and try and use a brief that I've been given. So, for example, we need a new goalkeeper that fits a certain agenda. Is he good with his feet? What's his distribution like? What did he play against? What's his shot stopping like? What are his save reflexes? Positional, all these things. And I'm going to try and put them all together and come out with a definitive answer on what I believe on Illan Meslier. I don't know what you guys think. Let's just get straight into it. So the 4 things I want to quickly touch on before I get into the data and what that says about Illan Meslier. And these are the 4 things I'm kind of looking at from a goalkeeper at Leeds United. And of course, there's subcategories to all of these, but just as a general task. Distribution. Something a goalkeeper is, especially this day and age, is almost, and I got this from speaking to goalkeeper coaches that I actually work with, is huge. There's a lot of time, especially in a possession-based system or a system that plays out from the back almost every time without fail. There's a big emphasis on distribution. Now, when I say distribution, what I predominantly mean is short passing to medium passing. Long-term pass is more of an out. If you produce a long-term pass, a lot of the time anyway, that is the final option. Of course, if a team's leaving a guy wide open on the wing, that's going to be a thing. But generally speaking, that doesn't happen because teams tend to play deeper against possession sides, as we've seen in the Championship. But distribution is huge. Reflexes. Can they make those saves that others can't? Can they be separated? Can they make the saves they need to in games? Again, the distribution is important in a possession-based system. Of course, it starts the move off and the amount of moves you have from the goalkeeper. How many times has the ball go back to Illan? He has so many touches in games. Every move is started and dictated by where he chooses to pass. That's the point. And with reflexes, that is also important. The goalkeeper, can he save shots? What type of shots? Can he save the ones that others won't make? Can he be that game changer, that difference when you need it? And again, talking about possession-based system, when you dominate the ball, you might only get 1 or 2 chances to save. Does he make those crucial saves in these games? Positional play, again, important. Okay? Goalkeeper needs to have good positional play. Now, just from general thought, positional play for Illan Meslier is interesting. That's one thing that I'm kind of interested to see. Box control. As well as being dominant with the ball at the feet and in saving, can the goalkeeper control his box, demand the box? That is his area. Can he demand it? Can he make the job for the centre-backs easier? Can he do that? Either with a punch, either with a catch. Better than nothing. Being a presence. Any one of these times Illan punches a ball, that could have gone to a striker's head. Or worse to a striker's head, could have gone to one of our heads. And the output of that header would have been the same as a punch. Because generally speaking, from my knowledge, Illan Meslier's punches are actually very effective. They seem to go out the box. They seem to go wide in wide areas most of the time. And a lot of the time, we have a guy up there willing to press, or it goes straight to him and we can start counters. There's good sides to each of it. But these are all the main aspects I want to look at and analyse within his performance, because I think they're important for Leeds United. Yeah, let's get into it. Yeah, so I've got stats here from Scout, and I've created a list of Championship goalkeepers. Of course, you can see Bazunu from Southampton, Patterson from Sunderland, a possession-based side, Johansson from Rotherham, a team at the bottom, but a goalkeeper who is highly touted in this league. Haladicki from Ipswich, very highly touted in this league, up there with us. Illan, obviously, Hermansen at Leicester, Angus Gunn, a good goalkeeper in this league, and also Paul City, a good goalkeeper in a possession-based system. So these are kind of I'm pitting them against each other to analyse their stats. And the first one I want to look at is this one, prevented goals this season. Goals they've prevented. Now, this is worked out as Goals presented is calculated by the difference between, so the difference between goals conceded, that's taken away, own goals or penalties, and non-penalty expected goals. So expected goals against and goals you conceded. This is the difference, right? And again, so this shows, are the keepers making those saves that make a difference in games? Are they winning points? Are they stopping clear goals? So shots that are on target as well, to clarify. Shots that are on target to goals conceded. That's the difference. That's what this stat does. And again, look at prevented goals, and the higher the better, obviously. You look at Hermansen here, and he's levels above everyone in this league. So he's clearly, in terms of making those saves in games, those massive saves that should go in, that have a high XG, Hermansen makes those saves. And let me just clarify, this can drastically change within a game. For example, if you save literally a point-blank shot from a guy that is right in front of the goal, 2 or 3 yards off the line, which he did the other day, you can get +1 in a game like that. But over the season, this is it. And he's got a 7.8, which is ridiculous, by the way, in any league. This, you can have a look through the leagues, that is ridiculous. Very outlier, hence why it's red, because it's an outlier. And then you look at Angus Gunn there, again, 2.6, Victor Johansson, 2.3, and then it's in the minuses quickly. And Illan kind of sits in the middle, kind of around these guys. You'd be shocked to see at the bottom, it's Heladike and Bazunu. Underperforming in that sense, should make more saves, should concede less shots from shots on target that they do. Heladike is highly rated in this league, but you look at that, 5.8 is quite big. Again, like I said, you can apply a lot of context to this. It obviously massively helps when you have a defense that's performing really well. But these are the saves that they're not making that they should. So he lands in the middle of that. So he's not by any means the worst. He's not by any means the best. He's sitting in the middle. He's doing an all right job. And again, just to clarify, look at the goals conceded for Leicester, 26, and expected goals against, 33. That's the 7 difference. That's the difference. And that's him. So Illan's sitting in the middle. So this is something that should improve. But yeah, this is ridiculous level. But maybe you'd like to see him even more break even or slightly in the positive, like Angus Gunn and Victor Johansson. So this is definitely something Illan can improve on, kind of making those, I guess, decisive saves in games. And I definitely think that's something he has improved on, which I will get into later on in the video. But another one I want to talk about is the save rate. So the percentage of saves they make based on shots they have, right? And again, Hermansen 77, that's ridiculous high. Angus Gunn, 70%, 69 for Johansson, Patterson, 68, and Illan Meslier, 69. In fact, I'll do this. So Illan Meslier, again, 4th place. Not terrible. And these are some of the best goalkeepers in the league. Not terrible, not the worst. Again, look who's at the bottom. Okay? It's quite telling. So he's not massively performing in that sense based on the other competition around him, but he's not excelling in that sense. I think that's a fair detail on that, to be honest. I think that's a fair thing to say. I think that's a fair kind of comparison to use. So that is an interesting one on that, based on his saves. And again, clean sheets. Shots against, 2.26, lowest in the league. So he's part of that defence. He's part. And let me just tell you, managers are very loyal to goalkeepers. There's a reason why goalkeepers spend the longest at clubs. You always look, goalkeepers are always there. They always spend the longest at clubs because they're very loyal. It's very hard to get a goalkeeper, especially nowadays, that fits your team, you know, in terms of stylistically and how you play as a side. So this is one metric, of course. Now we're going to go to another metric. Now, we talked about Hermansen and how good he is in the saves. And I've clicked the play button, so I've looked at all these to see if they were what I thought they were, and they are. So aerial duels 1, right? And there's another page where I've looked at all these and I've analysed them all. These are all within the box for goalkeepers. Illan Meslier has a 95% aerial duels 1 within the box rate in the Championship, which, as you can see, is not only one of the highest in goalkeepers by far, but actually one of the highest in the Championship overall. He wins duels in the box. He's strong and demanding in the box. This is an aspect of his game he's improved, and I really like. I really like it. And again, look at the top goalkeepers. Look at Hermansen down here. Aerial duels 1 within the box, 75%. doesn't win as much in the box. Aerial duels per 90 as well is half, is 0.34. Whereas Illan Meslier is 0.63. So he makes more. Probably should make 1 or 2 more saves this season. But he's aerially dominant and wins 95% of his duels, which is ridiculous, by the way. So that's one metric that is huge in dominating that box, whether that's a punch or a catch. This is the reason why he goes for the punch, because he knows he's going to win it. That's in his mind. He knows that's his best way. He knows that's how he gets the best out of it. And the fact that he's actually there is probably preventing a lot of headers on goal, a lot of shots and saves to make. So in the saves that Hermansson makes, this is where context is huge. In saves where Hermansson makes, you could argue Illan's already there and he's already punched it out. And that doesn't count as a save. That counts as an aerial duel. If there's someone up there with you, that's an aerial duel. So it's important to apply context to this. And this is why it's important to apply context. This guy makes these incredible saves, yes. And look, I think he's the best goalkeeper in the league, Hermansson. I'm not denying that. But it takes context to understand certain metrics. He's making these saves. But if you look at some of them, you could argue he should have dealt with that. Or Illan would have dealt with that. He would have punched out or he would have caught it. And the last 2 or 3 games, he's caught a lot. He's catching more now when he feels more confident. So that's an interesting metric. And that is something that you kind of have to take into account. So we'll quickly look at the final bit of this before I look at the individual and give my overall view. Distribution. So again, look at passes per 90. They all make very similar, these high possession-based sides. Again, Johansson makes 21. And his percentage is the lowest by far in this league. Again, that is because they'll do a lot of long passes. But again, look at forward passes, even lateral passes. It's fine laterally, but forward passes isn't great. So he's clearly not better with his feet than these guys. So that needs to be taken into context when you analyze a goalkeeper in a possession-based system. The ones in possession-based systems here are the ones at the top, apart from maybe Patterson, who's slightly lower. Doesn't make as much passes per 90, but these guys at the top are in a league of their own in terms of passes per 90. And the percentages are fairly solid as well. 88, 91, 89, 90. And this is what you need for a possession-based side. You need to be predominantly above 87, 88%. So that's just something there. They're all very similar in that sense. It's not really any outliers, to be honest. So they're all kind of capable in that. They're all capable of playing with the feet. And this is why I keep saying to you guys, it's important to have a goalkeeper that plays part of the system that works. Context is, the saves matter, of course. But these guys all make the distribution side of it easy. And they're a distribution type of keeper. They rely on distribution. They're good at distribution. That is what they do. They're all very solid at distribution. And you can pause it and have a look at these stats in distribution right now. And again, just to quickly show, Illan Meslier, aerial duels in own penalty area, 95%. The top. The most. So the final bit I want to show in this is just Illan Meslier himself and his actual stats as a player. Now, again, applying context to this, I do believe that there has been times this season where there's been saves, and especially talking about positional play, because I can't show positional play, right? I can't show the clips. There's points this season, positionally, where he has not been good enough. I think his biggest strengths are definitely 1v1. I think for the most part, he's excellent 1v1. He spreads himself really well. His reflexes in 1v1s are very good. I also think his reflex saves are very good. But the issue for Illan, for me, and it always has been, seems to be the ones that are kind of closer to him. I do think that coordination between his arms, as he's got long arms, are slightly misjudged at times. And I think that's fair. And that's a reason why we do concede, or we don't concede a lot anymore, but we did concede a lot of difficult chances, easy chances to save. I'm not going to deny that. That is true. And that's why in the terms of the league, he is one of the lowest in terms of, that kind of shots he should be saving. And it's all down to them. That near post area is a bit of an issue at times. And the ones that are a bit close to him are an issue at times. But as a reflex saver, I think he's very good. Now, again, you look at saves here and then slash with reflexes. So in the last game, for example, against Plymouth, he had 2 saves to make. None were reflexes, but we didn't concede a goal. And again, saves, 1 was reflex, 100%. 2 were reflex, 100%. 3 were reflex, 100%. 1 goal conceded, though. But then 2 more saves, 100% with reflex saves. Again, 1 out of 1 reflex, goal conceded. 100%, 1 save. And I think recently he's improved that kind of, if there's 1 save to make in a game, you have to make it. Again, the goals conceded, and you can look at the expected goals conceded in recent games. 0.07, it's not a lot, right? But there's been a save to make in there because you've still had a shot against you. Like I said, expected goals conceded. That's a shot, that's 2 or 3 shots. Or it could be 1 big chance. But he's kept clean sheets in them. He's made saves in those games, as you can see. He's made 2 saves in this game. He's made 1 save in this game. In the Rotherham game, he made 2 saves. He didn't concede any of them. And again, made 3 saves in this, but did concede again. Plymouth, every time that was the cup. 2 in 2, non-conceded. So it's definitely a trend he's improving on. And that's what I like to see. That's what's important to me. It's improvement. That's huge. You have to see a keeper who, by the way, was absolutely battered, and I mean battered for the last 2 years, get his confidence back. His distribution, for me, is improving. I think he's finding better range with his longer passes. I've not got it on here, but his long pass stats have actually improved. His success rate's gone up by like 10% in the last 5 or 6 games. So he's improving in that sense. He looks more confident. And in games now where he's having to make those one-off saves, in the last 7 or 8 fixtures, for me, he's done it. He's done that. And he's slowly getting back to that goalkeeper that we know he can be. And that goalkeeper that I'm talking about, and we look at the first season he played for Leeds, and this is just a thing of how young he is. Look, didn't play, played half a season. He's had 4 full seasons as a goalkeeper, people. 2 of them were getting battered in the Premier League. 1 in the Prem, and then half in the Championship. He's so young. You look at most goalkeepers, this will be 15 dates long. He's had, he played a few games in this one that I'm looking at now? 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 full seasons. 2 of them were getting absolutely destroyed by having the most shots against every game and getting battered by a horrible defence in front of him. You have to apply context. That ain't going to help a young man. Look at his first season that he came into the game. Expected conceded goals, 0.59. Not a lot. Conceded goals, 0.42. So he's doing better there. He's making the saves he should. So he's got it in him. He can do that. I think his save percentage has never been quite as good as it can be. But again, let me apply context to this. He's not experienced. This is the promotion season. That's all he played. I can't scroll. That's all he played. He's conceded 5 goals in that many games. That was in the Championship. We go to the first year in the Prem. Expected conceded goals per 90, by the way. 1.43. Goals conceded, 1.39. Again, he's doing better. He's making those saves. He's positive there, but he's positive. And this was his best season for me. This was the guy that we saw who had those naiveties to him, who did let in a few dodgy goals, but he made the saves he needed to, and he kept us in games. Look at the amount of saves he's got per game here. 3.5 per game saves to keep you in the games. 6 in that one, 5, 4, 3, 3, 4. And a lot of saves to make. And this was the decline. 21, 22. Expected conceded goals, 1.46 per game, guys. That's not good. Conceded goals, 1.68. So this is, and look at the ending here. This is where the battering started. This is where it got bad. Look at the amount of goals he's conceded. You can't tell me suddenly he's turned into a bad goalkeeper from that first season in the Premier League where he's still young and developing. His development didn't go anywhere. He got battered. He had no confidence. He had nothing left in him to be a good goalkeeper. And this season is the stability of that because it's just ended. It's just ended. Go back to last season. It's the same again. Battered every game. The confidence is gone. And that's a huge part of a goalkeeper, the belief in their self. I'll go back to what I said right at the start. These guys have to make the saves. These guys have to start the moves off. They have a huge part, a huge role. Everything's about confidence. And that's why managers stick to them, because when you find a goalkeeper that you believe in, it's hard to get rid of them. They play your way. Victor Janssen, for example, might make more saves, but he doesn't play the way Leeds want. He wouldn't work in that system because of that. It wouldn't work. It's huge. They dictate where the move starts. They get pressed. They have to be calm in possession. They have to choose the right pass. There's a lot of attributes to it, to a goalkeeper. So yeah, it's been a messy one. It's been in and out. I've been talking about a lot of stuff, but I want to just clarify my actual thoughts. Stats are great. They give you an insight, but you have to apply context to each one. So what I will say is this, to finish off the video. At times this season, should he have made easy saves? Has he made mistakes in saves he should make? Yes. And I'll actually say he's massively underperforming overall this season in that context. But recently, in the last 10 games, has he started to make those saves? I believe he has. We've not conceded. We've had a lot of goals anyway. We've had shots. He's made big 1v1 saves. He's made good reflex saves. He's kept us in games at times. In the little chances they've had, he's started to make those saves for me. I've seen that. So that is something he has to improve. But is he doing that? I believe so. And that's based on the eye. I think he is. If you look at the saves, and you can look at the data as well. His key strengths for me are his distribution, his 1v1 play, which is good. He makes endless 1v1 saves when he has to, for me. I think there's one he could have done better on this season, but the rest have been brilliant. Those kind of reflex saves across him, where he has to dive across, he's quite good with. Those are strength, and his aerial dominance in the box, where it's a punch or a catch, it doesn't matter. It's what the manager wants, and that's key. It's what the coach requires. It's what the coach is asking for. He wants him to do that. Get the ball out of the box. They can't score. We believe if they cross it in from outside the box, we will deal with it. So we have the guys in there, the attributes in there, into the Rodon himself, and the other big guys in there to get the ball out and create a counter-attack. So punching is fine. There is key strengths for me. His improvements, again, this comes with experience. He's still 23. He's played 4 seasons as a first-team goalkeeper. 4. It's mental. That's less than Jorginho Rutter. Or similar to Jorginho Rutter, who came through a Rennes. These guys are young, experienced guys. So the question is, what improvements does he have to make? I mentioned the saves. That's definitely one. Still think at times, just learning to find areas where he's not got a lot of pressure in them long balls to be more accurate is definitely one as well. Those are the two for me. The question is he long-term? That's what we're trying to answer. Should he be the long-term goalkeeper? So based on his previous experience in the Championship, where he was outperforming the expected goals against, and his first season in the Premier League against world-class players, where he was outperforming it, where he made some excellent saves, where he looked confident. Should we get a new guy? Not for me, based on that. And a manager always wants to try and get the player back to when they were good, when they were the best then. We've seen it with Jorginho this season. That's an example of a player who struggled and a manager has found a way to get him back to that confident him. And Illan is turning into that for me. And this season will help. So for me, he's the man. Should there be improvements? Yes, definitely. I will not deny that. Is there? I also believe there is. Is he the best goalkeeper in the league? No. Has he got the potential to be? I think so. Has he got the potential to play in the Premier League? I also think so. We're not forgetting, guys, not 2 years ago, 3 years ago, there were top teams in Europe that were interested in Illan Meslier. There is that side to him. There always will be that goalkeeper that has that potential. You have to get that out of him. That's the key. You have to get that confident guy back. And he's slowly coming back for me. He looks more confident just looking at him. So that's my final review of this very long and talked through video. Let me know what you guys think. What do you guys think about Meslier? Take into context what's shown, what you see, because you have to marry them two together. The stats show that he should make more saves. The stats also show that he's dominant in the box. And he's right in terms of distribution and playing out from the back for us. The eye also shows these things, but the eye doesn't maybe show how dominant in the box because we're too bothered about worrying about him punching it, and I can't show the clips. But in the last few games, he's caught it and we started counterattacks, and he's punched it into good areas in which they've either got the ball back in the box, which we've headed out and started counter attacks, or we've got the ball back in the box. They got the ball back in the box, and we've maintained possession from that. It works. It's starting to work. The punching's fine. It's not an issue. Happens. Most goalkeepers do it. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. I appreciate all support. I'm trying to find a new structure, a new way to do this to be more engaged. This might be a little too long. I apologize. I will try and make it more defined in the future. But yeah, top legends. Appreciate you all. See you next time. Peace.